morning or afternoon, evening, everybody. What is your first impressions of Auckland? I know, I mean, I was here back in '94, so it's a very different city in terms of where South African players normally play, and the stadium, obviously.
Yeah, it's my first time in New Zealand, so yeah, it's been quite a welcome. Raining every 5 minutes, and getting used to the jet lag has been tough. But yeah, I think it's a nice city. We had a couple of days off to walk around, and yeah, it's been good so far.
Thank you so much, Zina. Zina, my question is firstly, good day, gentlemen. My question is for Canan. Canan, kan ek jou vra in Afrikaans, meneer? Canan, ja, maar elke keer as ek sien, dink aan 'n debuut wat jy gemaak het 'n jaar of 2 of 3 gelede teen Australië, meneer. Skielik is jy nie meer een van die jongste spelers in die groep. Jy het 15 toetse agter jou naam. Kan ek jou vra as jy kan hoeveel toetse het jy al indien ene teen die All Blacks gespeel van ek hoor jy sê was nog nie in New Zealand gewees nie. Hoeveel toetse het jy in All Blacks gespeel en hoe groot van 'n voorreg is dit dan vir jou om moontlik in een van hierdie 2 toetse te verskyn, sou jy gekies word hoor?
Ja, hallo Percy. Ja, ek het al 2 teen New Zealand gespeel, 1 in Twickenham en 1 in die Kaap. Ja, ek dink vir my is dit 'n reuse eer. Ek dink eerstens ek kan nie die magnitude van die opportunity kan ek eers aandink nie. Ek dink vir my as 'n klein seun het ek vroeg in die oggend opgestaan om die games te kyk. En nou ja, moontlik om deel van dit te wees is reg iets spesiaal. So ja, ek dink dit is baie opwindend vir my as 'n jong speler om deel te wees van iets so groot.
Hello guys. Just for Canan, please. Canan, when you got there, you obviously your 2 tests, you're still unbeaten against them, if I'm not mistaken, and it was two tests that I think you probably would have quite enjoyed. Is there sort of an intimidating factor getting to Auckland and knowing that you're playing at Eden Park? Is that sort of an intimidating factor for possibly your 3rd test against them?
Yeah, I think obviously it is. I think, like I said, the magnitude of the match is there's going to be pressure. I think All Blacks have a lot to play for. I mean, obviously the record at Eden Park, Ari Sevilla's 100th game, there's a lot in line for them. So I think the pressure of the game is definitely going to be there. But like I said, we know what we need to do, and like Bowen said, we focus on doing the job on Saturday, and I think all of that is just external factors that we need to take in the court. But yeah, the game is very important to us, and we will do everything we need to get a result on Saturday.
Ross, last question from SA.
Thanks, E. How's it, guys? Canan, you've been slotting into that 13 role recently and doing quite nicely there, but obviously you were back on the wing in that last game against the Aussies. Has that been a bit tricky for you, when you looked like you were fully going into the 13 role and then all of a sudden you were back on the wing, and you might be on the wing again this weekend, and you've played against the All Blacks at centre. So is that a bit tricky, or are you fully used to that sort of versatile role by now, and doesn't it bother you whether you on where you're playing?
Yeah, I must say it's a bit tricky. Obviously 13 is very different from 14. Roles and responsibilities and things are very much different. But yeah, I think leading up to a week, you fully change your mindset in where you need to play for on the weekend. So yeah, I think it's been tricky, like I said. But yeah, I felt like whenever I need to go on wing, I'm fully switched into doing what the wing needs to do, and that's being maybe a contesting in an aerial game, being a bit different in defense, and yeah, all the things that comes with that. But yeah, I think just that mental switch you make on a Monday is quite important.
Canan, it's quite remarkable you've never been to New Zealand. Not as a junior or.
No, I've never was Super Rugby was not pro Super Rugby was a thing of the past. Missed out on a few of the tours here, so yeah, it's been my first one coming here.
Exciting for you. Is Eden Park a ground you watched on TV as a kid?
Yeah, like I said, in South Africa, these games are normally early in the morning. I remember just getting up, taking my blanket, and switching on the telly and watching these games. And I mean, yeah, as a rugby player, these are the type of games we always dreamed of playing. So yeah, very special to be here.
Auckland City is nice.
Yeah, we've walked around from gym. We will get a coffee and our way back, and we've visited some stores and had some food at some restaurants, and yeah, we quite enjoyed it.
A lot of traffic cones, but anyway. Yeah, we should go over any traffic.
Ken, welcome. It's nice to have you guys here. Just going back to 2023, that test at Twickenham, that was the first time you played the All Blacks.
Yeah, back down.
Yeah. So after growing up, wanting to play for the Springboks, knowing that the All Blacks are the greatest rival, and then to put a record win over them, what were your feelings after that? How did you walk out of that game? Oh gosh, that wasn't quite what I expected.
No, yeah, I think that was a special game, not just for me. I think for everyone that was involved. Yeah, not every day you get to put a score like that on the All Blacks, and I think that comes all down to everyone in the group and the coaches that did a great job in analysing them and putting us at the right places. And yeah, hopefully we can mimic that on Saturday. But yeah, it was very special, facing the haka for the first time. Always seeing when before the game starts, everyone gets quiet and all the spotlight's on them, and that was a very, very special moment for myself. But yeah, just getting into game mode and making sure I do the best job I can on the day.
Cobus?
Canan, the All Blacks struggled under the high ball in Argentina. How much emphasis are you putting on that, and how much pride do you personally take in that battle?
Yeah, obviously Argentina got a lot of reward and they won the game. I wouldn't say because of that, but it definitely helped them. And yeah, I think obviously both teams know that's coming. I think a couple of years ago they did the same to us. So we know the battle aerially is going to be very important. So yeah, I think we well prepped for that, and we've done our analysis on that. So yeah, we'll be ready for it.
Canan, just talk us through how your past 18 months have been. You found form quite injured, It's something that's worked for you, both ways for you at the Bulls and at the Boks. Just talk us through how that period has been for you. Yeah,
it's been tough. Still a young player growing and developing. So yeah, you like I want to say, you learn from it more than it being tough at times. Struggling and having a lot of diversity, trying to figure out what works for you, and I think that's been important for me. Figuring out what works for me. It's not always been smooth sailing, so all this diversity has just making me better as a player. I think changing positions, playing 13, playing in wing, just trying to make use of every opportunity I get.
Well, Ken, I was just going to say, have you encountered any banter from Kiwi fans or some of the hotel staff while you've been here?
No, actually they've been very nice to us. It's a lot of South Africans here in Auckland as we walk from gyms or getting a coffee. People are welcoming us very well, which is surprisingly.
What are your earliest memories of the All Blacks when you were growing up?
I think one that comes straight to mind is Ricky January's try in Dunedin. I think a special moment, and that's something I kept with me for a very long time, just to keep that fire burning in myself to hopefully one day play in New Zealand and make memories like that. So yeah, that's one memory that definitely pops up.
Is there any All Black you watched as a kid?
Probably all of them. I mean, yeah, they when I was a young boy, they dominated. So yeah, Manonu, Conrad Smith, all those guys were guys I tried to make my game or be like.
Just on that, you mentioned that facing the haka before. So a question for both of you actually, like how important is that moment as a Springbok, as a Test rugby player, to be standing out there when the All Blacks form up?
Well, for me, I think it was a surreal moment. You basically done every sacrifice in your rugby career to get to that point. I mean, playing the All Blacks is the ultimate test, and now you stand in front of the haka ready for battle. So I think it's a pretty surreal moment as a player to encounter that.
How did you process it as a kid, and how do you process it now as an adult? Because even when you walk in battle, you'll see someone who still supports, and across the road there's an All Black supporter.
Yeah, my uncle's a very, very big All Black supporter, and he was very upset about their loss against Argentina last week, and knowing we coming here this week. So yeah, I think it's something you are aware of as a maybe Cape Townian or someone from there, when you see a lot of All Black supporters, and meaning rightfully so, they play a beautiful brand of rugby that people will love. But yeah, I think as a small boy, the goal with me is always I wanted to be a Springbok and represent my country. So yeah, now we get to go to battle on Saturday and play one of the biggest games in history.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.